Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. So we'll be continuing with our repertory exam revision series with our next repertory, which is again a very important 20 marker, the BBCR. So without much ado, let us begin. Previously in this series, we have covered the Kent's repertory. There is also a very important repertory which can be asked in our exam for 20 markers. So please make sure you do check that video as well. So the full name of the repertory is Boger Bonninghausen's Characteristic and Repertory. Boger Bonninghausen. Author is Dr. Boger. Publication year with edition. The first edition was published in 1905, 1905, and the second edition is published in the year 1937. The first edition was published in the year 1905 by Dr. Borick and Tafel, and the second edition in the year 1937 by Roy and Company under assistance of his wife. Now let us look into the introduction. Introduction. In his time, both the Bonninghausen and the Kentian schools were popular. Boger made a study of both but accepted Bonninghausen's way of working out a case. He found that the practitioners had to depend on existing faulty translations of repertory of antisoric remedies. He embarked upon the task of translating it in 1900. Boger was also aware of the difficulties faced by the practitioners while using the TPB, which is Therapeutic Pocketbook, as well as criticisms leveled up against its principles and methodology. Boger also undertook the major work of rewriting Bonninghausen's repertory. This he did by adding aggravations, ameliorations, and concomitants in a detailed manner at the end of every chapter. The outcome was more useful work enriched with many new chapters, new rubrics, and medicines. So, this point is very important. The total number of medicines used in the repertory is 464. 464. Also, please do let me know in the comment section what were the total number of medicines or the remedies used in the Kent repertory. So in the BBCR we have 464, that is 464 remedies. It was published by Borick and Tafel in 1905. Like here we have seen the years, again we'll revise 1905 and 1937. Second edition by Roy and Company, India in 1937 under the assistance of Boger's wife. This second edition proved very useful in successfully working out cases. It contains characteristics of medicine in the first part and repertory proper in the second. Hence the title Bonninghausen's Characteristics and Repertory. Now let us look into the source books of this BBCR repertory. The first one is BTPB, Soric and Antisoric Repertories, Bonninghausen's Sides of the Body, Therapeutics of Intermittent Fever, Therapeutics of Whooping Cough, and Aphorisms of Hippocrates. Now, the philosophical background. BBCR is based on inductive logic, that is from particular to general, and which can be seen in Kent, which is completely opposite from generals to particular. But BBCR, you have to remember here that Dr. Bonninghausen particularly gave importance to the particulars first. So P to G. In Kent we had G to P, but in Bonninghausen's BBCR we have P to G, that is particular to general. Boger's work, Bonninghausen's Characteristics and Repertory, is based on the following fundamental concepts. First one, doctrine of complete symptoms and concomitants. Second, doctrine of pathological generals. The third one, doctrine of causation and time. Fourth one, clinical rubrics. The fifth, evaluation of remedies. Sixth, fever totality. And the seventh, concordances. The first one, doctrine of complete symptoms and concomitants. A complete symptom is that which consists of location, sensation, and modalities. LSMC. The complete symptoms are well arranged and it is seldom necessary to do grand generalization regarding sensation and modalities. Concomitants are given greater importance by Boger in relation to the parts. Doctrine of pathological generals. Boger was not satisfied by merely following the principle of complete symptoms, but he went further to seek general changes in the tissues and parts of the body. Pathological generals tell the state of the whole body and its changes in relation to the constitution. They help us to concentrate on more concrete changes to select the simillimum. The chapter's sensation and complaints in general is full of examples of pathological generals which include discharges, structural alterations, constitutions, diathesis, etc. Third one, doctrine of causation and time. Boger has given an adequate place and importance to causation and the time of expression. Each chapter in the book is followed by time aggravation. The section on aggravation also contains many causative factors. From his point of view, causation and time factors are more definite and reliable in cases as well as in medicine. These causative and time factors are very useful for finding out simillimum in shortest possible time. Clinical rubrics. They help the physician in cases of advanced pathology, that is, gross tissue changes, where he is left without a clear picture because of a poor susceptibility. These rubrics are useful to arrive at a group of medicine which can be further narrowed down with the help of modalities and concomitants to select finally the most similar remedy. The fifth point, evaluation of remedies. Boger introduced the grading of symptoms into 5 ranks by the use of different typography such as capital, which is the 5 mark, bold 4 marks, italics 3 marks, Roman 2 marks, and Roman in parenthesis, which is 1 mark. Sixth one, fever totality. This is a unique contribution of Boger. The arrangement of chapter on fever is self-explanatory. Each stage of fever is followed by time, aggravation, amelioration, and concomitant. Seventh point, which is concordances. By including a chapter on concordance, Boger has made the philosophy clearer and practical, though it deals with relationships of medicines of only 125 remedies. Now let us look into the plan and constructions of the BBCR. Having found certain difficulties in the day-to-day use of TBB, Boger tried to modify the structure and content of the book by adding many medicines and rubrics drawn from his own experiences and other sources. Thus, the book has undergone a vast change, but its principles have remained unchanged. While compiling the repertory, Boger followed the basic plan and construction of Bonninghausen's repertory of antisoric medicines, which could overcome many difficulties faced in using TBB. Unlike Bonninghausen, he made several sections for different parts of the body and he added many rubrics and sub-rubrics. The chapter on fever has been entirely changed in its arrangements as well as in its content for easy reference. He used the same gradation as that of Bonninghausen. The BBCR contains 53 chapters, so an important MCQ can be formed here. 53 chapters, and these chapters are also further subdivided. The chapters in BBCR are given in the following order: mind, sensorium, vertigo, head, eyes, ears, nose, face, teeth, mouth, appetite, thirst, taste, eructations, water brush and heartburn, hiccough, nausea and vomiting, stomach, epigastrium, hypochondria, abdomen, external abdomen. Then we have inguinal and pubic region, flatulence, stool, anus and rectum, perineum, prostate gland, urine, urinary organs, genitalia, sexual impulse, menstruation, respiration, cough, larynx and trachea, voice and speech, neck and external throat, chest, back, upper extremities, lower extremities, sensation and complaints in general, the glands, bones, skin and exterior body, sleep, dreams, fever, compound fever, condition in general, condition of aggravation and amelioration in general, and the last one, concordances. So it's a very big and hefty list to be remembered, but these were the 53 chapters in BBCR. So we remember the number 53 here, 53 chapters. Now let us look into the arrangement of rubrics. Most of the section is in the book, and the book starts with the rubric in general. In general, this rubric group those prominent medicines which are capable of producing different types of symptoms in relation to that organ location. Location rubrics are followed by subdivision of parts, with each part having rubric like side and extending to. After the location of different sensations are arranged in an alphabetical order. Each sensation is a general rubric which is followed by group of medicines. Sensation is divided into sub-rubrics under which parts are mentioned. Usually, these sub-rubrics are too specific and have a less number of medicines. Thus, these sub-rubrics are less useful in repertorization. The rubrics for location and sensation are mixed and there are no separate heading given for them. But it is easy to understand because there is an order, that is, after location, sensations are arranged in an alphabetical order. This is followed by time aggravation, amelioration, concomitant, and cross references. Methods of repertorization. Method is entirely based on the availability of data in a case. So the first point is using causative modalities in the first place. Useful if the case has definite causative modalities. Now causative modalities is again a type of ailments from. So the causative modalities: aggravation, mental and physical; amelioration, mental and physical; physical generals, concomitants, location and sensation. So this is the order to be followed. Using modalities in the first place. In absence of causative modalities in a case, modalities can be used, which is mental and physical, then concomitants, physical general, location and sensation. Third is using concomitants in the first place. If clear concomitants are available without any modalities, concomitants, modalities, physical general, location and sensation, etc. are used. Using pathological general, useful if the changes in the tissues at different location in a person. Pathological general, physical general, concomitants and modalities. Using diagnostic rubrics helps mainly in finding out a palliative drug when the case lacks in characteristics expressions. They are subdivided into clinical rubrics: aggravation, amelioration, weak concomitant, and physical general. Following Roberts' BTBB method, location and sensation, modalities, concomitants, and physical general. In last, the fever totality. In a fever case, if the stage are distinct, the following order would be preferable. If some stages is not available in the case, only the next stage should be used for repartization. Example: heat, chill, heat and sweat. In that also we look into the time, the type of character, then the time, aggravating factor, ameliorating factor and concomitants. Use of concordance chapter. In this chapter deals with the relationship of remedies. Relationships of remedies. Now, finally, we look into the advantages of BBCR. How this repertory can be useful to us. Complete symptoms. It is more useful in acute and short cases. Diagnostic rubrics. We find many diagnostic clinical rubrics mentioned in each chapter with a group of medicine. It is useful in a majority of cases. Pathological journals. This repertory contains many pathological journals which are valuable for repertorization and selecting a simillimum. Rubric. Infant affections of. This is a big rubric with many sub-rubrics in the chapter. Sensation and complaints in general. This is unique and very useful in pediatric practice. Constitution. Different types of constitutions with a group of medicines are available in the chapter. Sensation and complaints in general. Separate concomitants. This chapter follows modalities in most of the locations. Boger made it more useful for practice by attaching concomitants to the parts. Fever chapter. This is one of the best repertories for fever cases. Cross-reference. This subsection is given on at the end of the chapters, which helps us in finding an appropriate rubric. Mind section. This repertory begins with a large mind section. Menstruation chapter. This is well arranged and followed by concomitants in the following order: before menses, at the start of the menses, during menses, and after menses. Now, disadvantages. Chapter of concordances contain only 125 remedies. Mind chapter is enriched with many rubrics, sub-rubrics, and a large section of cross-reference, but the concomitants subsection of mind does not help practitioners as it contains only a group of medicines. Concomitant subsection is absent and concomitants are mentioned under the heading of aggravation. There are 53 chapters in the repertory and a definite order is not followed. A definite order of arrangement is not found in the repertory, thus the practitioner finds it difficult to search for a rubric. Boger has used similar rubrics in different sections, which creates confusion for beginners. In several rubrics are not given at proper place, thus creating a difficulty in finding them. Many rubrics have only a single or a few medicines. Rubrics do not contain a larger group of medicine. Some information which is available in this synoptic key is not found in the repertory. Nosodes are not represented very well. The BBCR parts include the prefix part, which is acknowledgement, foreword written by Dr. H.A. Roberts, introduction to BBCR, historical sketch of burning Hossens, introduction to parts, and contents of materia medica drugs. The repertory part includes preface part, which is further divided into preface proper, on the use of repertories, repetition of doses, homeopathic prognosis, different edition, list of remedies with abbreviations, text proper, and word index. And lastly, the suffix part contains concordance part. So, we have covered the BBCR repertory. a general guideline and a frame of answer which can be used by you in writing your exams. So we now quickly revise it. So we covered the full name of the repertory, the author, publication year with edition, then introduction, we saw introduction, then we saw different chapters, the philosophical background of this repertory, and the doctrine and pathological generals, the chapter sensations. So we cover the chapters in detail. The number 53 is important to be remembered here. At 53 numbers of chapters are included. Then the arrangement of rubrics we saw. Then we saw the method of repertorization. So we have to also remember in this repertory we generally go from particulars to general, which is P to G. In Kent we had G to P, but here we go from P to G, which is particular to general. And lastly, we saw the advantages and disadvantages of this BBCR repertory. So with this, we have covered, guys, the BBCR repertory for you all. I again say that we do not endorse any shortcuts to studies. Our textbooks and our college lectures are very important. Teachers take a lot of efforts to teach us, and if in your if in your college there isn't a proper learning facility, you can always try to watch some videos here and there and try to read your lectures. But since I come from a very reputed college of Maharashtra and one of the best colleges of Mumbai, we have a proper learning method, some teachers who are the experts of their field, and what I can do is what I've learned from them I can try to share and help you all, so that even you all can get some good learning facilities available if at all you don't have it in your college, right? Because I'm not aware of your current education system, and I hope so it is all good and well. But if at all, if there is some lacking, and if some parts are not missing, and if some parts are missing, we can try to help you all out maximum, since we in our college get a best learning facility available with a good functioning OPDs as well. So we get to see patients, we get to learn from the best teachers, and whatever I've learned, I try to share it. And that is my main aim, that if you are getting to learn something good, you always try to share with the world, which can also help them enhance their knowledge. And of course, when you learn good, you become good doctors, you can always practice better and help the humanity, suffering humanity, in a big way. So I'm always grateful and thankful to my teachers and my college. But again, I say that we do not endorse any shortcuts of learning methods, and of course these notes are just a type of notes, correct? So if I am to make my notes, it will differ from person to person. So this is one of the notes, one type of notes. Notes can always differ from person to person, but in this notes we have tried to cover the majority of points which are useful for examinations. I do not say that these are the only source you should refer to. You can always make your notes better, lesser, according to your level of preparations, and you can always add these points and make your answers better, right? So that is one point which I always say and mention, and I will keep repeating it, that do not only rely on this video alone. This video you can use it in the last moment for revising before examinations or before starting your studies, right? But don't just rely on this. Always try to explore more things and see more videos, learn from more doctors and your teachers, and always try to better yourself, correct? So now I end this video on this note, and I'll see you all in the next video of repertory, which will be the therapeutic bucket book. Again, very important question in our exams, right? So till that time, see you all, and my best wishes always. Thank you.